Mother gave us some information on how businesses were brought on board,
and this led us to Karina Thorogood, who works in new business development, and she provided us with more information on the WWF partnerships with other companies and what they want from businesses and individuals.
Basically, we want as many companies, schools, local authorities, landmarks, groups, anything to sign up. We want to spread the word as widely as possible. So if they can sign up as an individual, that'd be fantastic. If they can then go back and speak to their company and ask that everyone in their company sign up, that'd be brilliant, and get their company sign up as well. So kind of, it doesn't end where you can sign up. You can spread the word as far as you can. We've got something called a footprint calculator, which is on their Marks & Spencer's Plan A website. So if you put in Marks & Spencer's footprint calculator into Google, you could find it.
Karina pointed us in the direction of the Marks & Spencer footprint calculator, where you can find out your own carbon footprint and measure your own carbon emissions. We decided to give this footprint calculator a try and see how efficiently we are living our own lives.
Right, what's the address?
M&S?
M and S, that'll do. Here we go. Plan A WWF calculator.
In just 5 minutes, you can measure your carbon emissions and receive tips on how to reduce them. Once you've completed the calculator, come back and enter your carbon footprint score.
The footprint calculator has been developed by WWF. Click here to view the M&S footprint calculator. Just 5 minutes, you can measure your carbon emissions and receive tips on how to reduce them. Start. Okay. How would you best describe your diet? Meat and or fish eater, vegetarian or vegan?
No.
We'll do you first. Which one are you?
Meat.
You're a meat and a fish eater?
Yeah, but I eat vegetarian as well. It's okay.
Okay. I don't know if you could pick more than one. How often do you eat meat or fish? More than once a day, a few times a week, once a week, or less than once a week?
It's less than once a week.
Okay. How often do you buy organic meat? How many hours in the last 12 months on personal air travel to places outside of Europe? None, under 12 hours, 12 to 15 hours. You haven't been outside of Europe, have you? Have you?
It's Berlin.
That was inside Europe. This is outside Europe.
No.
If you have any pets, no. Alright. I don't have a pet. Okay. Which of these types of waste do you recycle? Food, paper, tin cans, plastic or glass?
Everything.
You recycle everything, yeah? Well done. Next. You're living as if we had 1.94 planets to support us, but we only have one. Your footprint is 1.94 planets. We've also calculated your carbon footprint, which is 8.3 tonnes per annum. You need to reduce your carbon footprint. Are you going to write these down? This is your to-do list, okay?
None of this is relevant to me, seriously.
Why not?
Because I need a car to go travel, yeah?
Could you take bus instead?
No.
Why not?
Because there are 2 buses I need to take. The Bracklin one, I have to wait for ages for that.
Start or join a walking bus.
I do street dance. I think I'm eating healthily. I think I'm doing fine. I mean, I'll try to reduce as much as I can, but, these things, what is saying to do this and that, I'm not going to do that.
Shall we do me now?
Yes, you.
Okay, let's see if I do any better.
How long do you spend on the train for personal purposes each week? I don't travel by train under 2 hours, 2 to 5 hours, 5 to 15 hours, 15 to 25 hours, or over 25 hours.
I'm going to say 2 to 5 hours because I do visit a lot of people.
Well done. How do you heat your home? Gas, oil, electricity, or wood?
Absolutely no idea. It's
electricity in there.
No, I think it's gas because we've got radiators.
Which of these energy efficiency improvements have been installed in your home? Energy saving light bulbs?
Yes.
Loft insulation?
Yes.
Cavity wall insulation?
Probably, I'll put yes for that.
Condensing boiler? In the last 12 months, have you bought any of these new household items? TV or hi-fi?
No.
Large item of furniture?
Yes.
Washing machine, dishwasher, tumble dryer or fridge freezer?
Yes.
MP3 player, mobile phone or camera? If you have any pets, how much did you spend on their food, vet bills, kennels, etc. in the last 12 months?
It's over 300.
How much did you spend on bath and grooming products in the last 12 months?
I'm going to put between 100 and 300, but I did go nuts in boots.
Okay, next. You're living as if we had 2.51 planets to support us. Your footprint is 2.51 planets. We have also calculated your carbon footprint, which is 8.68 tons per annum.
So I'm living as if we've got 2.5 planets. Oh God. And my carbon footprint is 8.6. Yeah, but to be fair, with things like where I bought a new phone, I'm not going to buy another one next year, although actually I might do actually. Yeah.
So what you can do is
fit shelves above radiators and under. Well, there's no room for a shelf in mine.
Start to join a walking bus.
I don't even know what a walking bus is.
Is it the bus who walks?
A bus that walks? I don't know about that.
Use chemical-free laundry bowls.
I have no idea what they are.
Take a homemade packed lunch to work. So yours is even higher. That means yours is bad. Very bad.
Yeah, but not much though. It's only half a planet.
Well, if I really don't need to travel, I'll try to walk or cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'll see to it that all my, I don't leave all those switches on like you do in your house.
No, I'm good. I turn things off in here.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you need to switch on 2 lights? You can just switch on one, isn't it? So after receiving rather good tips on how to reduce our own carbon emissions, we met Gerald Howard, the MP for Farnborough, who gave us his views on the Earth Hour project.
I think it's a great idea to remind people of the importance of energy conservation, and that cannot be a bad thing. That has to be a good thing, and if it helps to raise awareness, that must be good news. I think that saving energy has to be a good policy because, not least of all, it does help to reduce the household bills. But I think, those of us who were brought up in the aftermath of the Second World War, they were brought up by parents who would give you a really hard time if you left a light on. And that was because after the war people didn't have any money, and so you couldn't afford to go around sort of leaving lights on all over the house. And there won't be a person of my generation who will not recall the various degrees of persuasion that were placed on us to make sure we turned the lights out. Last year, the House of Parliament turned off Big Ben, not the clock, but the lights. As a Conservative, I believe that what you have to do is you work with the grain of human nature. You have to try and work with the grain, not against the grain of human nature. And I think that if you persuade people that it makes sense for themselves to save their energy bills, to reduce their consumption, then that's beneficial all round. It helps the environment, it helps them. It's working with the grain of human nature.
After our meeting with Gerald Howarth, we went on the Claire Hines show on Echo Radio, where there was a text in from members of the public with what they would do in the dark during Earth Hour.
Echo, for the Earth Hour, I would catch up on some much needed sleep.
Someone said that if they had an hour in the dark, they would streak.
There's another text here. If I was in the dark during an hour, they would attempt to make a pizza, but they do reckon it might go everywhere, and they would put the lights back on and take pictures of the mess. It'll be hilarious, they say. We've just got another text from somebody, a very strange one, but
we can't read it out. There's no name, and it's a little bit illicit. Just so you know, we're not a dating agency. I know.
So after receiving mixed results on the Claire Hines show, we went and spoke to Colleen Butfield, the head of campaigns for the WWF, to find out what people had done in the past for Earth Hour.
There's so many different things people have done to the Earth Hour. I mean, everything from, the simpler things, if you like candlelit dinners, or pubs have done candlelit themed nights. Loads of bands have played acoustic gigs. People have released those kind of paper lanterns with, on a massive scale, hundreds of those paper lanterns with little candles inside. There's been torch-powered bike rides around cities. There's been festivals, concerts, you name it almost. There's so many different things, because every country in the world, every city, people interpret it in a different way. There's been one of the ones that was made me laugh quite a bit last year was Thai glow in the dark party. So everybody came basically dressed in body paint or clothes that would glow in the dark, and they had all the lights out in the club they did it in. Loads of stuff. That's the whole good thing about Earth Hour is people interpret it in their own way. All we're saying really is turn out the lights for 1 hour, 8:30 at night, and show you want action on climate change, and do it in your own way. And that's what's good about it. It gives people's imagination free rein.
Last year a couple got married. They switched the lights off and got married. I guess that's your most unique one I've heard of. And when I first heard it, I thought, wow, that's great. They switched the lights off and they got married by candlelight, which I think is fantastic. Last year the Avon Wildlife Trust ran a nature walk at night by candlelight so they could see the wildlife, which is a really nice idea as well. I know of brownie and guide groups that make lanterns and decorate lanterns and sort of string them all up and hang them up. Some of the corporates, so for example HSBC this year are doing a vertical rush up the Canary Wharf Tower, so their big building in Canary Wharf, the big one. Their staff are raising some money for charity, and when they raise that amount of money, they're running up the stairwell, up the middle of a vertical rush, which is really nice.
Last year we took part much to my children's horror, we turned all the lights off that evening and had a games evening. As an aside, I think it's worth noting that actually if you play Trivial Pursuits by candlelight, your children cheat a lot more with the lights on. I have 2 teenage daughters and there's some of their friends around, but actually we had the lights off the whole evening, and it was a really good opportunity, in terms of actually having just fun and having family together, but actually just in a kind of light-hearted, gentle way to talk through kind of the issues of why you're doing it and what you hope to achieve.
I actually held a dinner party, which was quite a bizarre experience. So they all turned up, and then at 8:30 we turned the lights off. We had dinner in the dark, and we did some amusing things where I put random things on plates, turned off the lights, closed the curtains, and they had to try out different foods and then tell me what they were, which was quite amusing. Then meant that when I gave them lasagna and we had our main course, they were put off the taste of the food by all the quite horrible things they tasted beforehand. So we were in the dinner, but it was quite good fun. And then I think we played Murder in the Dark and various other things. So yeah, and then actually we kept the lights off the whole evening because an hour was quite short and it was quite good fun having the lights off. And so once it came around to 9:30, they just wanted to keep the lights off. And we did. We raised a bit of money, so I asked everyone to make a small donation to come, which I think I asked them to donate £10 to come, and we had 8 people, and then we did, like when we played Murder in the Dark and the other activities, we just put money in a pot, and I think we raised about £90 or something.
So from starting with no knowledge on what Earth Hour is, even though it is now in its 3rd year, we now have a good understanding of the importance of Earth Hour.
So at 8:30 p.m. on Saturday, the 27th of March, we will be turning off our lights.
And hopefully, you will be as well.